Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the cuethechat podcast. My name is Phil Lynch, and on today's episode we're going to be having a little look through the World Open. We're going to be having a look at some of the results from that tournament. We are also going to be having a look at something that I think might be happening, which is John Higgins. His match was a bit strange between with Zhou Yulong. I'm going to get into that anyway. He looks like he might be developing a condition that maybe some players might not like. We're also going to be having a look at what I think the new ranking system should be, because I think the one that we have is a little bit outdated, and I've come up with a new point system. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast. So we are going to start with a few results from the World Open. I was trying to copy a few into the sheet, but it wouldn't work, so we're just going to go off the cuff here. We're just going to look through snooker.org. So there's been 5 withdrawals, I believe. Luca Brissell was meant to be playing against Tian Pengfei. He got a walkover. Ryan Day was meant to be playing against Ricky Walden. Now that was a game that I had suggested that we should all watch, because that looked to be a great game, but Ricky Walden pulled out. He had to go to hospital during the German Masters. He was there for the Welsh, but I hope Ricky's okay. Chris Totten pulled out. Tep Chai-Nu got a bye into the third round, and Jack Jones pulled out. He didn't go over to China. Robbie Williams got a bye through to the third round. And Ronnie O'Sullivan once again pulled out. Now that is a strange one, because I would have thought that he would have played in one of the Chinese events, but he pulled out. I think he's certainly meant to be going to the Grand Prix, because he sent a message to the opening ceremony saying that he was going to be there. As far as I am aware, so it looks like we will be seeing Ronnie next week. And so yeah, Stuart Carrington, he didn't get a bye because that was a first round match. It was Womersley. He's an amateur who replaced Ronnie against Stuart Carrington, but Stuart Carrington got through that one 5-2. Those could be some vital ranking points for Stuart Carrington. Number 75 in the world. He does still have a chance of qualifying for next season. What was I going to say there? Because it was a preliminary match. He hasn't won a game yet. It was held over. He wouldn't have gotten any ranking points. I don't think he even gets any prize money for going over. So it would have been a very expensive trip for Stuart Carrington had he gone over and lost to Ronnie O'Sullivan, which you would expect Ronnie O'Sullivan to win his first round match, even though he hasn't played since Championship League back in January, at the very start of January. But so those were the 5 withdrawals. I mean, not very nice. Sorry, this has nothing really to do with what we're talking about now, but I was in contact with the TNT, the Discovery Plus support team about possibly being able to watch the Discovery Plus, the snooker on Discovery Plus again in Ireland once Eurosport shuts down. So if anybody is interested in that, stick around. I'm going to be talking through that in a few minutes. I have the screenshots here. Anyway, that's again quite off topic. So we're going to go back to the results. I'm this all over the shop already. We're only 4 minutes in. Zhou Jinhao, he's an amateur. He was only in the tournament as one of the Chinese wildcards. He beat Sanderson Lam. Not like he scraped through against Sanderson Lam. Pretty comprehensive. 5-1 on Sunday morning. Karen Wilson beat Hamid Mia 5-2. Stan Moody against Zhang Anda. Now that was a game that I would have loved to have seen if it wasn't on at 1:30 in the morning. Stan Moody won that one 5-3. David Lilly, I'm going to be talking about David Lilly in a few moments. He beat Cao Jin 5-4. Who else? John Higgins, who we're also going to be talking about later. He beat Mark Davis 5-1. Aaron Hill, Sonny Akani. Now that would have been a great game if it was on a streaming table, because I believe it wasn't. Aaron Hill beat Sonny Kenny 5-3. Judd Trump annihilated Jingzi Hao. I was watching most of that game. Zhang Jun lost out to Ding Junhui 5-1. What other game would have been a good game? Okay, so we move on to day 2. Sean Murphy 5-0. Zhou Jinhao, the guy who beat Sanderson Lam. But Sean Murphy made a maximum break in frame number 5 of 5. It's his 10th maximum break and the 214th in professional snooker. He also made his 700th century in that match, being only the 7th player to do that. So that was a great achievement. I would have loved to watch that game. Sean Murphy's on fire this week. We're gonna see a few more of his endeavours this week, but he has been absolutely superb all week so far. It is only Wednesday, but so far. Who else? Jack Lazowski beat Scott Donaldson. Karen Wilson beat Lei Pei Fan in round 2. Stan Moody beat Graham Dott. 5-0 Pang Junzhu against Anthony McGill. I remember watching a little bit of the start of that match, or maybe not the start, maybe it was halfway through. But yeah, Ben Wollaston having a good week. He beat Amir Sarkov 5-0. Dwayne Jones, man, what a win for him, beating Xiao Guodong. He was 4-0 down. I remember this. He was 4-0 down against Xiao Guodong, but he managed to come through that all the way to a black ball frame in the final frame, and he beat him 5-4. I'm very happy for Dwayne Jones, because that's a big win for him against Xiao Guodong. Joe O'Connor, he beat Alfie Burton 5-1. That'll be relevant later. Ding Junhui, he beat Joe Perry. Now that was always going to be some game. Joe Perry, he was looking very tired, I must say, for the bits of that game that I did watch. He was looking very tired indeed. 5-2 there. 5-0 for Sean Murphy against Sip Chai Nu. I mean, he absolutely blasted him. Again, as I say, having a great week. There. Now, Joe O'Connor, I was telling you that he won his second round match. He beat Judd Trump 5-2. I mean, what a win for Joe O'Connor. When he went ahead in that game, I was full sure there was going to be some sort of an onslaught from Judd Trump soon enough, but it didn't happen, and he beat Judd Trump. I don't know. When I was watching Joe O'Connor, he seemed to have a little bit of a menace to him that he doesn't usually have. Usually I see him as quite a sweet character, but the way he was stomping around the table, even his facial expressions, it could be just the beard, to be honest, because his beard is a bit more there, I suppose. But he was looking, he was looking very fierce, and a fierce result for him. I mean, he's definitely a player to watch in the future, because I mean, he just comes out with some of these runs in tournaments, and they're just, oh my god. Anyway, Lu Hongyu beat Elliot Slessor 5-4. Lu was 4-1 down on that one, came back and beat him 5-4. Who else? Barry Hawkins, Ben Wollaston. Barry Hawkins won that one 5-4. Ding Junhui beat Hossein for 5-3. Ding Junhui has not had an easy run this week, let me just say. Zhou Yulong beating Kyron Wilson. I mean, what a scalp. Judd Trump and Kyron Wilson both going out on the same day in round 3. Ali Carter beat Jack Lazowski 5-4. What other fun little results were there? Oh, whoops, I've just clicked on Zhou Yulong's profile in snooker.org. The match that we're just going to come to now in a moment, John Higgins 5-4 against Zhou Yulong. Sean Murphy beat Ding Junhui 5-2. So Ding Junhui out. That looked like, again, like it was going to be a good game, but I didn't get to see any of it. And yeah, so we're going to move on to John Higgins against Zhou Yulong. Now, John Higgins was looking a little strange during this match against Zhou Yulong. he was kind of, the camera zoomed in. I think it was a 2-1. Maybe it was the frame that lasted about 40 minutes. It was on about, I don't know, was it half 7? Was it frame 3 or frame 4? I think it was frame 3. I think it was 1-1. And they just zoomed in on John Higgins' hand, and he was shaking like a leaf. Oh my god. I was wondering what was going on, because John Higgins has played in bigger matches than this. I was like, what? And then I just noticed a few times he was getting up and down and up and down and up and down off his shots. A couple of shots he missed by an absolute mile. And in that deciding frame that they played at 4-4, after a couple of frames after a couple of shots, he just walked off. It's like, until he walked off, and I think it might be something else. It could be something else now, but up until then, it was kind of looking a bit yipsy. Like I'm touching wood here. I mean, if there was a tree in my room, I'd be hugging it, man. It's, you know, it looked a bit yipsy, because it looked like he was struggling to pull the trigger. He was coming up and down off his shots. He was, I don't know. And then when he was pulling the trigger on some of the shots, they were just not going through straight, or I'd keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on John Higgins. He's, I don't know, if this happens in another couple, if this happens again tomorrow, I think this could be a bit of a cause for concern. He could be getting the Stephen Hendry, the yips, one of the greats, another one of the greats fall into the yips. I hope not, but it's possible. It is possible. We're going to move on now to something a bit happier, because up until today I thought that David Lilley was going to go very far, because he has been playing some outstanding snooker. He beat Cao Jin in the first round 5-4. Then Mark Allen, he beat Mark the Pistol Allen in round 2 5-4. I looked at that and I was like, what? Yeah, he was looking, after his win against Wu Yiza 5-4. I was thinking, God, this guy's on for player of the tournament. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, it's just brilliant stuff. Then he lost to Alec Arthur today, 5-1. It's just, I didn't get to see the match, but I mean, just what a week he had. I mean, I'm not actually sure where he is in the rankings at the moment. I'm gonna actually have a quick look to see where he is on the rankings before today. Number 60. So he's looking like he will stay on tour, but I mean, this week could be crucial in that, because he's 60 coming into this tournament. So this week could actually be crucial in the race to stay on tour. I just tried to pull up the live rankings there for the 2-year list. But when I turned off live and current, you can check what the rankings are officially and what they will be after the tournament with the prize money they currently have. But there was no difference for any player, so I don't know what was going on there. But yeah. David Lilley actually number 62. He's the 60th seed, but he's number 62 on the 2-year list on the world rankings. So this week could be massive in whether he stays on or falls off the tour. Right, next thing on the agenda is Sean Murphy and his maximum break. And it looked to be a pretty good maximum. I mean, the pockets are looking a bit like buckets this week. They're playing pretty big. I know everyone's like, oh, they use templates and all that. There's no way those are templated pockets. I mean, the conditions can be whatever they want. They cannot be templated pockets. They are massive. They're like a 9-ball pool table pockets. It was majestic. I mean, he didn't look out of position for too long at all within that maximum. Yeah, just beautiful, just majestic. As I say, it's his 10th max of his career. It's his second one in the same amount of months. He could have had 3 so far this year. Sean Murphy could go deep this year at the World Championships. I know we could say that about a whole host of players at this point, but maybe the pressure might get to him a small bit because he's almost expected now to do well, whereas I don't think Sean Murphy ever comes into the World Championships expected to do anything, except for, was it 2 years ago when he won the Tour Championships and the Players Championship? He was kind of expected to do something there, and he went out pretty early. So, I don't know. Possibly a contender for the Worlds, but that moves us nicely, actually, into what I think he should get for playing in the Worlds, because I've devised a new ranking system. So, the current ranking system is every pound you earn is a point. So they've had to choose a currency first of all, and they've made that into ranking points. So under my first of all, I'll tell you why I don't think it's fit for purpose, is because basically how many ranking points you get is based on how much the promoter can afford to pay people, and I just don't think that's right. So I've devised a new ranking system. Now, I've gone against the rules of my own ranking system here a couple of times, but is it twice that I've gone against the rules of my ranking system? And I think they're both in the one category. Anyway, I've split the tournaments into categories, and that is copper, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. So to get into the copper category, your first few rounds basically have to be best of 5 or under. So the only 2 tournaments in that are the Championship League and the Shootout. Then we have bronze, which is the first few rounds being best of 7, and that is the English Open, the British Open, the Northern Ireland Open, the Scottish Open, the Welsh Open, and the World Grand Prix. Now, I have an asterisk next to that because I don't think that should be in there. I think that should be in silver. But as per my rules, it has to be in the best of 7. It has to be in bronze, sorry, because the first few rounds are best of 7. Then we move on to silver, and those are when the first few rounds are best of 9. So we have the Xi'an Grand Prix, Wuhan Open, German Masters, and World Open. Now, I really am not a fan of the best of 9s. I think they're a little bit pointless because you could either have a best of 7, have more players at the tournament because you can play 2 matches in one session, or just have a best of 11. Because best of 11s are just better. They're just nicer. There's no chance of going to the interval for 15 minutes to come back to play 10 minutes of a frame to 5-0 over and out. Like, I just think best of 7s and best of 11s are just better. I think that the best of 9s is just a bit stupid. But anyway, that's the silver category. Then gold. The Saudi Arabia Masters, that's an asterisk next to it because it's it's not best of 11 at the start. It's a best of 7, I think, up until a point where it goes best of 9. But you can't have what they're classing as the 4th major in the bronze category. Like, that's just not how it works. So I've had to move it up to gold, but I don't think that. I think it just has to be there, even though it's not. They're just trying to get through the matches at the start, really. That's why they're all best of 7. We've got the International Championships, the UK Championship, the Players' Champs, and the Tour Championships. Now, that's actually best of 19 the whole way through, but again, you can't have that in the Platinum category because that only goes to the World Championship. So that just kind of has to sit there, I'm afraid. But then I've got the the invitational tournaments as well. I've divided them up in silver, gold, and platinum. That makes no real difference, other than maybe you could say that you have however many gold tournaments in total. The Champ of Champs and the Championship League go in silver. I'm not making a copper invitational because then nobody's going to want to be in copper, and it's just going to be the end of the Championship League realistically. Invitational gold, we've got the Shanghai Masters and the Riyadh Masters, and Invitational Platinum then, of course, is the Masters. Now, I haven't really, like, the Riyadh Masters best of 7, I put that in gold. The Champ of Champs, I think, should be in gold, but you can't have everything in gold. Maybe you can. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just have gold and platinum. Oh well, anyway, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter with my ranking point system. So, I've devised a ranking point system for each one of the categories. So for copper, they're each going to have, basically, they're each just going to have their own point system for each one of them. So I have the Championship League. The group winner gets 2 points, and the runner-up gets 1 point. And then that's just for like groups 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. And then for the winners group, then the overall winner gets 8 points. Second gets 4 points. The 2 losing semi-finalists get 4. What? The overall winner gets 8 points. The runner-up gets 4 points. Yes, the semi-final losers then get 2 points, and then the next 2 then in the group, then they get 1 point. And then for the shootout, I just have 1 point per win. I mean, you don't really need many more points than that. So then for bronze, so go out in the last 1, 2, 8, the first round. You get no ranking points. I mean, that's fair enough, I feel. And then if you go out in the last 64, you get 1 point. The last 32, you get 2 points. The last 16, you get 4 points. The semi-finals, the quarterfinals, sorry. The losing quarterfinalists get 8 points. The losing semi-finalist gets 16 points. The runner-up gets 32 points, and the winner gets 64 points. So that's basically just doubling the points every time. Then moving on to silver. So silver is 1.5 times bronze, because I was going to do, 2 times, then 4 times, and then 6 times for platinum. But then it just, the ranking points, it just makes having, the smaller tournaments, it just doesn't make any sense for the players to turn up, or for the organisers to put them together. So 1.5 times, so it's again 0 for what am I saying? 0 if you don't win a match. Then 1 point for last 64 again. Then last 32 you get 3 points. Last 16 you get 6 points. Last 8 you get 12 points. The semi-finalist, the losing semi-finalist gets 24 points. The runner-up gets 48 points. The winner gets 96 points. Then for gold, this is 2 times bronze. So again, the loser, if you lose in the first round, you get no ranking points. If you lose in the second round, you get 2. Lose in the third round, you get 4. Lose in the last 16, you get 8 points. Lose in the last 8, you get 16 points. Lose in the semi-final, you get 32 points. If you are the runner-up, you get 64 points, and the winner gets 128 points. So like the Tour Championships winner would get 128 points. But you see, then we move on to the World Championships, and I had out the 2.5 times as it should be based on my own rules, but it just seemed like so many points. like I'll take you through it. I've made a second category that I think that you should decide how many points they get. But 2.5 times. So if you lose in the first round of qualifying, you get 0 points. If you lose in the second round of qualifying, you get 2 points. The third round, you get 5 points. The fourth round, you get 10 points. Then we make it to the Crucible. The last 32, you get 20 points. The last 16, you get 40 points. The quarterfinal, you get 80 points. Semi-final, if you lose, you get 160 points. The runner-up gets 320 points, and the winner gets 640 points. Now, just think about this for a second. The English Open winner will get 64 points. The World Championship winner will get 640 points. So that's 10 times more than the English Open, whereas at the moment it's only 5 times. Now, does it work? I don't know. So that's why I made 2.25 times, so 2.25 instead of 2.5. So the loser in round 1 gets 0 points. The loser in round 2 gets 2 points. The loser in round 3 gets 5 points. So this is all the same so far. Just because you end up with decimals, I just left them the same. Because you don't want to have somebody on 440.285 points. That's just stupid. So then round 4 gets 9 points instead of 10 points. So now we're at the Crucible. If you lose at the Crucible, you get 18 points in the last 32. The last 16 losers get 36 points. The quarterfinalist gets 72 points, which, right, you've lost at the quarterfinals of the World Championships. That's more than winning the English Open. Just bear that in mind. If the semi-finalist gets 144 points, the runner-up gets 288 points, and the winner gets 576 points. Now, I'm not sure if I like this. Like the way that I did it at the start, I think that the concept I think is great. I think having bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum for the World Championships, I think that that's great. I mean, I made it, of course. I think it's great. But I think we're going to have to come up with a better system for the points. I think it's fine up until the World Championships. I think that the way I've done it there is fine. But there's so many rounds of the World Championships. I think we need to have a bit of a rethink there. It's just, you win a gold event, which is one of the biggest events. Right, but let's have a look at it this way. The UK Championship winner gets 128 points. The World Championship winner, which is meant to be higher than it, but essentially on the same level, 640 points. Let me have a look at the prize money, actually. So currently, the winner of the UK Championships gets £250,000 in points, and the winner of the World Championship gets £500,000 in points. Under my system, that's double currently. Under my system, the winner of the UK Championships gets 128 points, and the winner of the World Championship gets 640. That's mental. So that's 5 times more. So essentially, it doesn't work at the moment. But basically, I need your help. I don't really know what to do with the platinum, because I feel like you need some kind of a system to make it fair for all of the tournaments. But the system that I've come up with basically doesn't work. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't really work. Just because there's so many rounds. Because in the other ones there's a max of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds technically. 7 rounds, and the winner and the runner-up obviously have to get 2 different prizes. Whereas for the World Championships, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds with 10 different prizes. So if you're going to be doing 2.5 times each time, it's going to be quite high. So it just, I don't know. I think we need to come up with a new system for platinum. But I think in general, I think this is kind of the way that what am I trying to say? I think this is the way the ranking should go. The other idea that I had, which I can't really come up with a physical, like, I don't know, diagram isn't the word, but I can't come up with a representation of it. That's the word, because I don't know enough about Q School and all that kind of crack, and the Q Tour. But I think that the way that you qualify for the World Championships, the way that you qualify for the qualifiers, should be different. I think that just because you're professional shouldn't mean that you get to play in the World Championships. Now, let me explain that, because that might sound a bit weird to some people. But I think that there should be like a different World Championship system. So you earn the same. You earn points on that system. I think maybe the same as the system here, but also Q Tour players. I think that when they win matches, I think they should win points towards that World Championship system, so that basically on all levels of snooker, everybody's trying to build up to this World Championship, because that's kind of the way that works in darts. I mean, you'd have players who don't qualify for the World Championships who are professional, but you have players like on the JDC, the Junior Darts Corporation. That's how Luke Littler got there. You just have all these different ways of getting there, and being a professional doesn't guarantee that you get to play, because they have more players at their World Championships. So I don't think there's as much qualifying, not as much like qualifiers. I don't know. I just think that there should be more opportunities for amateurs, essentially, to do well, because then the way that 1 year listing works, where the top 4 who don't have a tour card, they get a tour card. That could be another way then of making it onto the tour. I don't know. I just think that maybe the WSF, that World Championship, and do they have more events? I'm not sure. That should all count towards this. As I say, the Q Tour, just other bits and pieces. Maybe the Disability World Championship, maybe that. But again, like the way that's done, I mean, none of them are going to make it because they only have one tournament. Whereas like the Q Tour have quite a number of tournaments, and yeah, basically, I just think that there should be more opportunity for more players to play at the World Championship, because you never know. Like, there could be an amateur out there who's playing on one of these smaller tours, who could be going on to bigger, better, greater things, like Xiao Xingtong. I mean, imagine he'd made it to all the finals of the Q Tour events, and then he doesn't make it to World Championship qualifying, because at the moment he's made it there. I think I'm right in saying that if you win a tournament there, one of the Q Tour tournaments, you get to play in World Championship qualifying. Imagine he'd made it to all those finals, been so consistent, and some guy who just had a decent run 1 week and managed to beat him in the final gets to play. It's just that's just the way it works in my head. But I haven't been able to put that out because I haven't decided what tournaments qualify. I haven't decided how you get each point. I don't even understand these tournaments, to be honest. I don't understand amateur snooker. I understand that they're going on. The Women's World Championship, the Women's Tour as well, I think should count towards that World Championship thing. So that, you know, we have the World Seniors, we have the World Under-21s, we have the WSF, we have the World Disabilities, and we have the World Professional. Why is it the World Professional? Like, the best player in snooker might not be a professional player, essentially. And if we want the World Championships to be a true representation of who the best player in the world is, I feel like we should be opening it up a bit more to people who maybe, like, who had a bad run 1 week if they entered Q School, but like, they could be one of the best players ever. They just had a stinker of a week at Q School. I just think that we should be able to open it up a bit more to people who to more, open it up to more people. That's just simply it. And I mean, I feel like I'm rambling on at this point, but that's yeah. I mean, I have nothing else much more to say really, other than that. So yeah, we've gotten a decent podcast. You'll be the judge of that. But in terms of length, I feel like that's pretty good to end there. I hope you enjoyed the... Oh! I forgot again about my my chat with the Discovery Plus team. So I was on Discovery Plus support, trying to figure out basically if we're going to be able to watch tables 2 to 4. I'm just going to take a quick drink, 1 second. If we're going to be able to watch tables 2 to 4 on Discovery Plus in Ireland, because at the moment TNT Sports, you can't get it on Discovery Plus in Ireland for whatever reason. You can get it on Sky, Virgin, Sky TV, Virgin TV, all Now TV, all these different places, but you can't get it on Discovery Plus. So we've only got access to one table, and that's if it's on TNT Sports 1 to 4. Like at the start of the week, the 1 a.m. sessions were on TNT Sports 5. I believe that's maybe on the red button on Sky, but it's not on Now TV, any of that kind of crack. So when it officially moves the full way over to TNT Sports, viewers in Ireland are only basically going to be able to watch Table 1. So I was in a chat with the Discovery Plus support team. So I joined it, and straight away I I was in touch with Danny, a robot designed to answer questions about Discovery Plus, which I thought, oh great, this is going to be great. So it gave me a few options. I tried before to do some typing and it didn't really work, so I just clicked the option TNT Sports, and it asked me what I'd like to know about TNT Sports. And I said, why isn't TNT Sports available on Discovery Plus in Ireland? And then it said, what do you want to know about TNT Sports? So we kind of went around in a circle about that for a while, and then I just pressed one of the options, how do I get TNT Sports? And then it just gave me an article that I'd already read. So it said, was that helpful? And I said, I want help from a human, because that was one of the buttons. So then it put me in touch with, so first of all it asked me for my full name, for my email address, and then, then it put me through to an agent called Eric. So then basically what I said to Eric was, I would like to know why TNT Sports isn't available on Discovery Plus in Ireland. It is a concern not just for me, but also for listeners of my snooker podcast, as when Eurosport merges with TNT Sports, we will only be able to watch one table, whereas before we could watch up to 4. Then Eric says, I understand your concern, let me help with this. Before we proceed, could I get your full name and email? He asked me for that again, that's fine. As per recent plan charges, for Eurosport and TNT Sports content, you need to subscribe to your local provider, who includes Discovery Plus offer with them. I hope you understand. And I said, TNT Sports isn't included with this in Ireland as far as I'm aware up to this point. It's what was I trying to say here? Oh yes, sorry. Is TNT Sports included with this in Ireland? Because as far as I'm aware, up to this point, it's not available. He said, it depends upon your provider. Kindly contact your local provider for details. So basically, that just felt like an I don't know. So to anybody listening here in Ireland, like myself, I'm not listening here, I'm blabbering on. Brian McGovern, I know that you listen. If you're going to be forking out the, £31 a month, let me look up how much it is in euros again. So it's looking like it's €41 a month. So Brian McGovern, if you're going to fork that out, try connecting your if you're going to be doing it on Sky, because I know that you can connect your Discovery Plus account and your Sky account. Try linking them and opening up Discovery Plus and seeing if it works, if you're going to do it, because I completely understand if you're not. I mean, I'm certainly not. The way I'm going to be watching snooker from now on is through a VPN on WST Play. So I already subscribed to that, and with a VPN you can change your location. I usually change it to Canada, and then when I open up WST Play, it lets me it lets me watch live snooker essentially. So that's what I'm going to be doing. BBC ITV events, again VPN on BBC iPlayer and ITVX, and for the rest of the tournaments it's going to be on WST Play with the VPN, because I'm not forking out €41 a month. I don't have that kind of dosh. But yeah, I mean, it's a little disappointing, but sure, look, there's workarounds. There's always workarounds. So yeah, I mean, I hope I remembered everything. Obviously, I forgot that. If I didn't, I'll be back. I suppose I'll be back Monday, because World Open will be finished and the World Grand Prix will be starting. No promises though. Thank you to everybody who's listened. Don't forget, you can email us, cuethechat@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of crack. Subscribe wherever you're listening. Please subscribe. It helps us out a lot. You can get notifications on most of these services. You can set up auto downloads on Spotify. That would be really helpful. Just trying to get the podcast out there a bit more. So all these things that you can do, they'd be super duper helpful for me, and it doesn't cost you anything. So it would be greatly appreciated if you could do some of those things. yeah, let me know what you think about my ranking system, because I'd like to refine it a bit, and then maybe, I don't know, bring it to somebody higher up in snooker, maybe on a podcast, maybe email it to somebody. I don't know. I'd like to refine it a bit and try and see if we can get a bit of traction behind it. So tell me what you think. We will see you possibly Monday. No promises, but we'll see you certainly next week. But until then, it is a big adios from Fionn. Goodbye.